Hi everybody. I just wanted to keep going on the track that we were on before. Um, my hair continues to be, it's always a little bit crazy. I don't have gel or anything else in it right this minute. I'm still, if you watched my previous video, this is going to be the continuation of that. I went over what I use primarily in some of my second and third favorite foundation moments. I went through application and I went through my setting powder, and I'm going to be continuing now. I'm going to finish doing my eye look, and I'm going to, well, I can't say I'm finishing, I'm going to be starting my eye look. I am going to be periodically using my little handheld mirror there. This, I have to say, was actually given to me by a friend at a previous job, and it is something that's become a pleasant little memory wherever I go. And it's a neat thing because it's not super unique. I'm sure lots of people have this, but you can hang it up on a wall. It's a trifold. It's a perfect little stand if you do set it up somewhere. And it's sort of a nice little thing. It's not a, you know, not a famous star mirror or anything, but you know, my hair isn't that bad. It's just this kick that I tend to get. And it's always the middle of this side. I'm gonna put my headband back on. That's gonna throw me off. Let's see if I can't. I don't know. Maybe it's not better. Anyway, so I'm gonna actually be turning my little spotlight back on, and I will be right back. Okay, so I'm back. I just turned my little spotlight on. I think I got this right. I know I look super luminous right now, so what I might do is end up putting a little more powder on now that I'm getting a better look at myself. So it's just funny, if you watch my first Get Ready With Me segment, I went into, I'm going to be doing nails, I'm going to be dyeing my hair, I'm going to be doing some of my skincare routine, and I know I've talked about that here and there, but what I wanted to go back over with you, now that this will end up being part of my third upload, is that I, obviously, we see I've dyed my hair since then. I did use a Garnier product. I know that it was, the box that I used, the specific box, is in that video. I went from what I would call platinum blonde, like a very, very bright blonde, to this color. This is significantly closer to my natural color. I was blonde for several months. I've been blonde maybe 4 times now, since at different points. I don't know, like I've talked about a little bit, I do play with my hair fairly frequently. As I went over a little bit. Of course I got powder in my hair. I can fix that though. There we go. I'm gonna be brushing off the excess in just a second. So as I had started to say in those videos, I'm going to be in a family wedding. The bride had asked me to keep my hair natural colored, so whether I stuck with blonde or not, that was a conversation that she and I had had a while ago. And that's, you know, no big deal. I was going to be blonde up until the wedding, and that's fine. It's just that I don't know if it's just the water around here. I felt like I was doing a lot of the proper caretaking, and it was just still coming out so brassy. I was using, you know, blonde specific products. I'd done John Frieda. I'm very familiar with, you know, was it Bedhead or somebody has like that Dumb Blonde line with the silver packaging. Purple shampoo and a lot of the different things. I don't feel like I was overwashing it. It's just, it still came across with more of an orange tone over time. And yep, that's just the way the cookie crumbles. So I realized quickly, like, because of the color and because of I should be more specific, because of the color of the bridesmaids dresses and because of different things like that, I don't want, nobody wants, I can't say nobody, but I certainly did not want bright orange or fiery color hair and a purple dress and looking, you know, washed out. You know, in that type of way. So that was when I made the decision. I was like, look, you know, I'm going to be photographed. Obviously, wedding things it's a family wedding. It's going to be everybody from all sides of everywhere, and make sure I'm looking sharp. I didn't want to look washed out or like my hair was half-baked. So yeah, now that my powder is redone, I'm going to do sort of an all-over eye color. I did show a brief snippet of what I just setting aside the things that I've used already so that they're less to fumble with. Bear with me. It's there we go. So I'm sorry. Yes, gonna do an all over eye color. And I think what I'm gonna do is start with this Almay palette. It's a pretty standard palette. I know they've got a lot of different ones like this. This one, as you can see, there are a couple of colors I've hit pan on. This one is called, it's just medium skin tones. There is, I think they use semi-liquid pans. The creamy pans are to double as a lip or a blush if you want. And oh, that shine is not cutting down. I think it's just the way the spotlight is right now. So I'll give you a finished look in a different lighting. So what I'm going to do is go in with this little top corner here. It's just a very light sand. It does have a little bit of a glitter, which by the end of this, it's just going to be, we're going to go for that diva look, just like we talked about. So as you can see with the foundation application from my previous video, I do take my base foundation all the way to the lid. I don't have a particular eye primer, but I do, obviously, I think it's important to all start out as the same shade. I don't really know anybody who disagrees with that. I think what I think is so powerful about makeup is that we, you know, women, men, whoever, as makeup artists, whether you're somebody who applies it daily, whether it's just a special event, or you are a special effects artist, whatever your story is, whether you're doing your makeup on yourself, whether you're doing makeup on multiple other people, or it's just something you do for fun with friends and goof around with, like, everybody has these tips and tricks, and I think that's what's amazing about YouTube, is that it really is starting conversations that otherwise wouldn't be had, because sometimes you get these tips and tricks of, it's not just, you know, oh, this Hollywood person, or oh, like this movie star, whomever, this model. It's sometimes there really are just fabulous everyday human tricks, and nobody, it's either so basic that, you know, basic that they grew up with it and they don't think twice about sharing it because it's something that they've done every day for forever and saw their whole family do and assume plenty of people know about it, or they have a really cool thing, they know it's a really cool, very specific thing, and, you know, it's like those relatives who don't want to give up recipes, they're taking it to the grave out of spite, or whatever that situation is that you hear about, like, oh, you know, what's your secret, and, you know, magicians never tell, and it's kind of the same thing. So that's my little base coat of what I still would call a light sand. I think I'm going to end up doing a swatch at the end. I'll go through everything I end up using so you can see what I use in my all over, what I end up using in my brow. Actually, what I'm going to start to do, because this is such a highbrow look, and I am somebody who really enjoys brow definition, like we've talked about, I'm going to go in with doing a little bit of that. I'm going to, excuse me. Swig of coffee there. I am not somebody who does a lot of, I don't really use like a specific pomade. I know brow pomade is like the thing. I do use, it just depends on the day. I usually use a taupe color, which is this CoverGirl Perfect Blend. It's a dual, and it's a pencil with a little smudge. I actually also have that in black. This one is 130 Smoky Taupe. I also have an Ulta Beauty dual eyeliner for, now that my hair is darker again, I think this is going to be more appropriate. And yeah, another, this is a CoverGirl dual-ended, both-end pencil, and it's their True Naked waterproof crayon in espresso and cashmere. With their little highlight situation. Excuse me. So these are the three I just mentioned. So I try and find the foreground. This is the Ulta dual eyeliner. This is the CoverGirl espresso and cashmere. I just think cashmere is so funny. So whoever does the naming conventions for these, it's always almond and cashmere, and then this is, I'm sorry, one more time, the taupe shade from the first cover roll I mentioned. So, yep, that's those. I'm gonna jog this through the... I've actually never tried to do my brows on camera before. Seems like a great time not to try that. One of these days. So this handheld is gonna help me out. So what I do is I start toward my nose and just lightly. You want to try and mirror what you already have going on. See that already a little more defined. I try and just do what I already have. Yeah, I like the way that's looking. And obviously you can already tell this. I don't need to say I'm not somebody who likes an extremely thick brow. I tend to be somebody who I have extremely high arches anyway, and then I like to just take it there. So now that I have done the that main stretch there, wet my brush a little bit. I do have some water off camera. Oh, there we go. Refocus. Yeah, awesome. So I wet my brush a little bit, and what I'm going to do is jog the pencil that I just put in and just pull it out. So this is going to just help. It's going to make it a little bit darker at first. And it controls that product you already have going on. Pulls it out over into your arch. Then a moment of silence to make sure that this situation goes okay. And then once I go through that with the pencil, that's when I'll kind of stamp the powder on top to lock it in. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish my brows, and I will be right back. Okay, so one more time, I just went and did that off camera, obviously. I'm not somebody who tends to... I have a cat who wants to make an appearance. Hang on. Baggy, can you say hi to everybody? Oh, he's being a snuggle bug. Okay. Let me do my thing for a little bit. He's my shadow. He tends to be wherever I am. And he is either being a snuggle bug or a howling dude. I actually posted on my Instagram in between pausing the video, and he was bellowing. He has this habit of we make fun of him for being a mighty hunter. He will hunt socks and other things from the laundry. So what was I starting to say? Yes, I'm not somebody who tends to need to do a lot of brow carving out, but today it seems to be, like we were talking about, wrench in the plan situation. I went in with my lighter Fenty formula that I told you about a minute ago. This is the 110 of the Pro Filter Soft Matte Finish. I think what I'm going to do, I'll swatch the formulas and powders and everything against my skin, and then I'll also, I have some extra blank canvases. I might do what everything looks like against a true white off-white canvas and see if we can find dupes for some of these. I know, like the Almay palette I have in my hand is just definitely an everyday. They have these collections for your eye colors. I tend to get the brown or hazel one. I don't know if you can really see with this lighting, but I do have a lot of green. Tends to come out more with natural sunlighting. So this is the blended. Same colors before, same brushes before. Just that very soft, very mild reflex in that. And then, let's see. Just did the same thing I was making fun of myself for earlier. I could have been using my hand mirror this whole time so that I wouldn't be like, oh yeah, doing this in camera. It's a little bit backwards. So just fact check myself, see how good I actually did. Yeah, no, I'm really happy with that. Yeah. I think, short of doing the, the Dwayne Johnson faces or the Jack Black eyebrow dance from, oh, what the fuck is that from? Excuse me. Oh, School of Rock, a million years ago. It's the eyebrow thing that he did. I can't even do that, even with all my facial tic. When my face is completely relaxed, it's not a problem. But as soon as I start to, you're engaged in a conversation, your eyebrows start to do one thing or another, and I find that this side, like I mentioned my tic, it really does, it doesn't legitimately grow any differently, it's just my face it'll stay up here, and it's not, I have resting bitch face anyway, so to have a power eyebrow or whatever stupid thing you want to call it on top of it, it's just like, oh, why does Erin look mean today? Why does she look one thing or another today? And it's like, no, I'm sorry, it's not, there's not a disbelief, there's no challenge, there's no whatever, there's no side eye usually, it's just, it's my face, and you only get one. So most people only get one. There are face transplants now, and that's where my brain took it. So moving on. That is just my brow and base. I'm going to do a little bit of carving out contour colors. This is actually a combo, excuse me, it's like a bronzer blush highlight palette from Ulta. And what I'm going to do is go in with the darker color here. Actually, I don't know. Something about this makes me want to do my cheekbones first. Yeah, I'm going to set this brush aside. And go back in. This is actually the same brush I used for foundation a little bit ago. So I'm going to use this lighter brown. It's not a true contour color, but it is, for now, it's going to help me kind of stamp out what I want to do. So I tend to have I do, in fact, have, what most people consider naturally high cheekbones. You want to go, if you're going for a natural look, you just do like a soft kind of lower, wherever that shadow is, you can kind of see, like here is that natural cheekbone indent. What I'm going to do is go just above that and just follow along, and yeah, just go right along, and you want to kind of follow, not all the way to your jaw. I don't usually do all the way to my jaw. Some people do. It depends all on your face shape. As a heart-shaped person, I tend to do just directly in. Some people do like a, an elongated triangle this way, or some people do a tri-corner, they'll do over to here and then down, depending on the shape that you want to make. I'm not somebody who has a super pronounced jaw, but there are people who will contour in and around here if they're trying to, it's just all kinds of different techniques for that. So what I'm gonna do is start kind of stamping in. And again, I'm not somebody who does a lot of cream contouring. What I tend to do, my whole method to my madness here, is I do a base. Obviously I put my foundation on, I put my powder or foundation on top. I tend to lock all of that in first so that I can see everything starts from the same place, and then I'll put the contour powder on top, and then if I need to mute something down or blend it together, I'll go back to that same powder brush that I went to for the Revlon Photo Ready that I used earlier. Okay, so this is gonna look extreme for the time being. Right now I'm doing it slowly, more exaggeratedly. As I'm trying to show you, you can get all the way from this top of your ear, like this corner, and then through. Just stamp, 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 stamp. And then when I go to blend it, I'll do circles. But let me see. A cat that's insisted on making his way into this video again. You see that tail behind me is not mine, much to your chagrin. I am in fact a black cat, but we can go into that later. Yeah, that's not as pronounced, but this is the same sort of motion that I was just doing. So I'm gonna do the follow through and blending out of my contour. Now that you've seen that, there's not really a whole lot to that part. So once I get that part done, I will come back for eyeshadow. Just a minute. Alrighty, let's get back to it. So as you can see, I did my contours pretty laid down, and my cheeks is mostly blended out. Can't say that it's gonna be perfect to a T. I'm still getting used to. That's not terrible, actually. I'll have to figure out how to play with the angles. Like I said, I'm a little bit thrown off. This is just, as I said, I went out with I started making videos with the intention of making them accessible to everybody and believable, and this is the everyday human. So the everyday human, even if she's home, whether it's a vacation day or whatever the circumstances are, there's still I found myself, like, I did my contouring, as you can see I did my eye segment too, and I finished this, I forgot my video was paused, started vacuuming and started picking up, and then I was like, oh, I'm definitely still doing something. So I think that's definitely like what I was talking about when I was doing my original video with the Biore strip. I'm trying to what you want to do is create that elongated eye shape, and then the liner is going to come up obviously at the end here. I'm going to bring this brown right under the eye too. Just a little bit of a shadow. I think especially with contouring, it can be something that it looks hilarious up until the very last second. I know a couple of people have said that about eyeshadow and lashes, that the eyeshadow can look as raucous and wild and and whatever, and then you pop that lash on and it's fierce and it's perfect. So hang in tight. I think you'll really like the finished result. So now that I have that detailing, I'm not sure, I don't know. I started out recreating this look, but I kind of want to do more of a smoky eye, whereas the other day was more of a cut crease. I think as long as I do, you know, that bold, beautiful red lip I know you're all here for, will be square. So let me obviously that's going to be the last portion. I went through and did yeah, I don't know. Sorry, doing this extra blending with my overcorrecting my eyebrows and that kind of thing, I feel like threw me off more than I realized. So nothing goes according to plan. I should just stop making them, right? No, that's not the way to approach that. So I think what I'm going to do is I keep wanting to, I think what I'm going to do is tie the gold in through here. I have the gold fine glitter pigment here. I'm going to put a transition color and kind of feather this out. Yeah, that sounds good. So I'm going to put, there's like this gold bronzy shade. Again, I'll be swatching these all before the conclusion of this video. That'll pop up, and I'll do whatever I can to help you out in the description box as well. The key to something like this is just making sure you're as blended as you can possibly be until you get basically like a writer's cramp feeling. you just want to make that whole situation smooth as possible. So gold here. Then I'm gonna take my more pinpointed brush and blend. I think it's getting a little too reflective. What do I have for like a matte brown? Maybe I'll use my contouring brown. Tie it back in. Oh no, I do have in my I have a Pirates of the Caribbean Lorac palette that I will definitely do a feature on in the near future. I love this thing. It's absolutely perfect. And anyway, so that's my dude, and I will go into more detail about that in a different video. So I'm just blending between what I put down as the base color and then what I ended up doing when I carved my brow out was you know, that highlighting I did, and then just kind of blending this whole thing in. And because we're still in neutral shades, what I'll end up doing is dusting off the excess eyeshadow just with my fluffy brush, what I used for blending and for powder application before. So just bear with me. Still just doing little circular motions. This is the shade is called Bones. Bone or Bones? Bones. Should have known. Something pretty. Alright, so I'm looking a little bit dusty crusty. Yeah, I think that contour will need some more of the transition. I think that my right side is a little bit more defined. I'm having a little bit of difficulty again with you know, as many lamps and lights and things. I have an overhead lamp, I have 2 area lamps, I have the spotlight. I think maybe that's just throwing off. I think this looks really good to me, but the way it's reflecting here, I think the bottom is looking a little bit more silver tone than I wanted. Definitely don't want silver contour. I'm not doing space makeup. Although I'm not opposed to we just talked about doing more effects makeup. I think my first look is going to be something vampire-y. I did that I've done that throughout the years, but I also did it specifically for last Halloween. Was a work Halloween party, and it was a bad time for the place I was working. This is going back over a year ago. So anyway, so it's just a bad time for business, and they closed some branches and went through different things, and they're like, yeah, let's all rally together, have this, you know, team spirit idea and make Halloween fun, and I ended up doing a thing where I had, you know, very severe contour with a silver tint. I ended up doing, it was like Vampire Masquerade. I had a sequin mask, and I just did blood droplets down through here. I don't have it anymore because I don't use her products, but I did for a very long time use Kat Von D. Sorry, I know my cowlick is having a minute there. Nothing I can do about it. I can only have so many cowlicks controlled at once. Do my rock star thing. Let my hair have a minute. I'm looking forward to not for any other reason other than being able to shorten my sides and stuff. I'm looking forward to the day after the family wedding, because I would really like to shorten my sides and do more of a V shape at the back. As I've mentioned, I like to do my own back and sides, and I don't use this mirror, but I do have another handheld that I sort of, you know, look into one and see the reflection of the wall-mounted one, and whenever I feel like I'm second guessing, I will you know, call Julian over and say, hey, like, can you let me know if this is even, once in a while I'll have him, even with my eyebrows, I'll be like, hey, help a sister out, like, can you please, like, let me know. And in situations, if my bangs are forward like this, when my hair is more relaxed, that's fine. But if it's, I also like to do the, you know, that pomp sort of shape where you pull, you know, gel this back. Maybe I'll just do a mohawk one of these days. No. That's one of the things where, as we talked about with growing our hair, you have to let it have a little bit of life, let it have a little bit of freedom. I have been using more conditioner than shampoo. I'm trying not to rob it of its natural oils, because obviously as somebody who was blonde and then did a box dye nonetheless, I don't know. I know that there are things that I'm not supposed to do, and I do them anyway. If there's a t-shirt for that somewhere, can you please let me know so I can add it to my Amazon wish list? Please and thank you. So, in watching Tati's video, I know we went over different YouTubers I like. Tati Westbrook, who is Glam Life, Halo Beauty, had Scott Barnes, who's a very prominent makeup artist, also has his own brand. He became famous, I believe. He's best known for right now anyway. I don't know how if he worked with somebody else before JLo, but he's very famous for helping spearhead and create the iconic JLo glow that we all envy, and that's actually a very, very good video. I can give you a couple of tips that I learned. He went through, he also was doing like a little bit of promotion for his new makeup line. So as an artist, somebody like him, somebody like Mario, who works with the Kardashians and KKW, as a makeup artist, I feel like you're in a unique position where, like, those are the people that really should be out there creating their own brands. You know what does and doesn't work. You know what you need to see more of in a market. And sort of in the same way that everybody else, you know, if you don't see what you like, if you can't find a way that you learn, if you can't find something relatable, or if you can't see anybody else doing the way that you learned, and you feel like there's a hole in a market, that's where you need to be, and you need to hop in and create. Excuse me. Just got a message. What the hell was I saying? Oh, so yeah, Scott shared some really cool tips and tricks, and a lot of them were his own lashes, which look pimpin'. And oh, sorry. Before I get too far away, this is the Maybelline Colossal. This is their Big Shot. Obviously, Colossal does is that typically yellow and purple. I think Colossal did this for like an anniversary or something. Anyway, so Scott, we'll see if you take a shot every time I try and start a sentence or do another segue, and we'll see each other on the other side. He was saying he has this unique thing he does where he back combs mascara in. So everybody goes, up, wiggle, out to flare up, and then hopefully I can't say hopefully, there might be plenty of people who don't do this. I do both sides of my lashes. So I'll do, wiggle out and up, and then you go towards the back of your lashes and kind of comb down. I'm somebody who regularly will do, I would say, at least 2 coats of mascara for a regular look. I'm doing this before I finish my eyeshadow because I'm doing a diva kind of pin-up look, and what happens now is this coat of mascara, the one that I'm applying, will be on my eyeshadow fallout from the definition that I'm going to be putting in more color. Will compound on top of here, and then it's like that baby powder trick that everybody was raving about a while ago for your lashes. If you don't know what that is, I can actually link it or something. There was a baby powder trick a lot of people were using to falsify thicker lash follicles. The issue with that is baby powder is not designed to go in your eye. And that's the issue a lot of people have had with not necessarily falsies, but individual fiber formulas, where they'll do a 2-step mascara where you have a regular wand with, it's usually more of a glue adhesive. They'll do like a 1, 2, 3, or a 1, 2, and 2 is fibers, then you put the black back over it to like lock them in. And they're just so many instances where if you're somebody who has sensitive eyes, watery eyes, allergies, and stuff like that goes in your eye, even if you're not and something's in your eye, it's unpleasant, but if you experience something as a result of a synthetic, tiny, tiny, little feathery, you know, false lash fiber in your eye, in like the bottom, not pleasant. So yeah, this is starting to come together. I'm starting to look like a person now. As somebody who never, ever, 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 ever leaves the house without makeup unless somebody's on fire or I'm going to like the hospital. This is my everyday. I can't say that, you know, maybe I'll do a little bit less contouring, but my everyday does consist of, like, I'll do the cheekbone situation and I'll make sure, like, for me, in the winter months especially, once I do my makeup, I'm not somebody who's ever been concerned about hair. Like, when I do, well, I don't mean ever been concerned about hair, but never, like, if it's hair or makeup, I will always do makeup. I don't care about a messy bun. I don't care about throwing a hat on. Even when I did have, you know, pretty princess hair, I was always ponytails, always, like, long one-side braid, or just down. Like, I wasn't, I never learned French braids. I never learned a lot of the fun things, like updos, etc. So, yeah, this is my coat up, and I'll do a comb. I think that teasing trick, unless you're doing something where you want it to be cartoony intentionally, I think that's fine for photography, for stage makeup, but for, you know, your average everyday thing, you're not going to be sitting there, just like you don't tease your hair and backcomb it every day, and if you do, that's a bad idea. You really shouldn't be doing that. We know better. So, yeah. I'm starting to feel a lot better about this.